Hi, I'm Catherine Norland, and I want to challenge you to make this year your best year yet. How can we do that? So many look forward to the new year, to start fresh, to begin again, to set New Year's resolutions. But what is it that's actually going to make us stick to our resolutions this year, to accomplish what we've always wanted to, or to have what we've always wanted? Have you ever wondered why some things are so easy for others to do, but so hard for yourself? I know I have. Well, most of it is based on our mindset, what we believe and perceive to be true. Many years ago, it was believed to be impossible to run a mile in less than 4 minutes. Now it happens all the time. That belief barrier was broken. If we believe we can do something, then we usually do it. If we believe that we can't do something or that we don't have what it takes, we most likely won't do it, because we will never rise above what we believe about ourselves. I remember a few years ago setting goals and getting so frustrated with myself for not sticking to them or not being able to make progress, and having people tell me, well, if you really wanted that thing, you would just make it happen. Well, I did really want that thing. I just couldn't, for whatever reason, make it happen. I had no idea that having passion to do something wasn't enough. Things would always come up to sidetrack me and throw me off, or I would get stuck and not able to move past a certain point. Have you ever had a goal that has been on your list for years that you don't seem to be able to accomplish? Whether it's finally writing that book, finishing that project, or getting to a physical body goal, you may want that so desperately, but you keep getting faced with obstacles that stop you. Have you ever considered that how you see yourself and what you think about yourself, maybe at a subconscious, unconscious level that you're not even aware of, or maybe not willing to admit, could be what's stopping you? What are those phrases that keep replaying in your mind over and over again? Is it that you can't handle it, that you're not smart enough, that you could never do that, that you're going to fail? Whatever it is, you must identify it, because that is what stops you in life from getting where you desire to go. I discovered mine were, you're not smart enough and you're not good enough. Some ways that manifested in my life was in my actions. I would shut down when someone brought up academic subjects or complex electronic things or subjects I wasn't familiar with, because I had unknowingly trained my brain to say, whoa, stop listening. You won't understand this. This is too advanced for you. You won't be able to figure this out. You're going to have to get someone who knows what they're doing to help you. So I would never even attempt to learn or to understand, because I just knew that I couldn't. It was a fact for me. It's the same for you're not good enough. This manifested in my life in a lot of different ways. Like when I first started acting, I also did makeup on set and PA work and lots of other work, because I thought, well, I'm not really good enough to land this acting job on my own, so I better have some other things I can offer to fall back on. Like, I'll bring my makeup kit to set and I'll start doing that as well, or I'll run errands for them, or do whatever it was so that I could be of more value and good enough. These negative ways of seeing ourselves usually start when we're very young, even before age 5 or 6 sometimes. Some incident happens, and then we make a decision about ourselves, who we are, if we're worthy to be loved, how we should be treated, what we're able to do, and we don't know that that's something we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. And we won't question it, because we are so convinced that it's true. It's that much a part of us. Do you know people who say things like, well, I'm just not a fill-in-the-blank type of person, or I just don't understand how mechanics or mathematics work, or I've just never been good at that, or I've tried to lose weight and nothing has ever worked? Well, they may even have all the proof in the world that it doesn't work because of all of their failed attempts. But even failed attempts, no matter how many there are, doesn't make it true. It just makes it what has happened so far. You're not a failure. just because you've tried some things that have failed. It just means you tried some things that didn't work. There are other things you can try, other ways to do it. Maybe you need to have more consistency or try a different tactic or get some help. But how are you phrasing what has happened? Are you calling yourself a failure just because the things you tried didn't work? We have to reprogram our minds to believe what we want them to believe. Often we won't believe the good things that others say about us. We are more convinced by our own voice. I often wonder how my life would be different if I would have just told myself sooner that I can do it, that I can understand, that I can write a book, that I can fill in the blank. What would we attempt to do? What would we accomplish if we stopped believing the lies that we have told ourselves for so long, the stories that don't serve us or our future or what we want to do or be or have? There's a story in the Old Testament about a group of spies. Maybe you've heard it. They went into the land of giants. These giants, big and tall and strong warriors, some say between 7 and 9 feet tall. And here's these regular-sized Israelite men, puny men in comparison. They went and spied out the land to see if it was rich and fat and abundant, and that maybe they could perhaps go take it and overcome it. Well, 10 out of the 12 spies said, "There's no way we can go into that land. We're like grasshoppers in their sight." But 2 men, Joshua and Caleb, not necessarily physically any larger or stronger, came back with confidence and they said, "Let's go possess that land now because we are well able to overcome it." Often what we don't realize, however, is the way we see ourselves is the way others will see us. We project that to them. We are telling others how to treat us by how we treat ourselves or how we allow others to treat us. In Numbers 13, when they saw the giants, the 10 spies said, "And we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight." Their enemies saw them exactly how they saw themselves, like nothing, like wimps, like bugs to be squashed. And it didn't matter how much they wanted into that promised land, flowing with milk and honey, where the land was so abundant it took 2 grown men to carry 1 cluster of grapes. Well, it's the same for us. No matter how much we want to land that spouse, make that film, hit that number on the scale, design that revolutionary product, end homelessness, whatever your cause or goals, the key ingredient missing when we just don't seem to be able to hit that mark lies in how we see ourselves and what we think we are capable of. Those spies who didn't think that they could go against the giants were keeping themselves from the promised land. It wasn't the giants keeping them out of it. It's also interesting that when they told the people of Israel that they couldn't do it, the Bible actually says they brought an evil report. How many times do we do that to ourselves? We bring an evil report when we say we can't do something, we can't accomplish something, we are unworthy, we're too ugly, too thin, too fat, the wrong ethnicity, not smart enough. Whatever it is that you're saying to yourself that is stopping you from reaching the goals you want to reach. If what you're saying to yourself is not pushing you to the center of your goals and your purpose, but is actually hindering you, then I suggest that this be the year that you bring yourself the good reports and not the evil reports. And I don't mean the rah-rah of just saying positive affirmations, but actually changing your mindset about what you are capable of. Stop finding proof for why you don't measure up and start looking for what you're doing right and the reasons it will work. Change your focus. Get clear on why you want what you want to do and how it will improve your life and what it could make possible for you. And then set forth to tackle those goals as if you can do anything you put your mind to, because you can. Yes, you may need some help. Yes, it may take longer than you anticipated, but if the goal is worth having, it is worth working for. No matter how big the goal, how impossible it seems, or how formidable your foe is, it is your choice to believe whatever is going to propel you towards your goals or cause you to back down from them. From now on, if what you're saying or believing about yourself or your situation doesn't serve you, doesn't lead you towards your goals, but keeps you in a place you no longer desire to be, then don't say it. Don't believe it. Shatter those misconceptions about yourself and what you're capable of. And let's head into this new year saying, let's go possess it. We are well able to overcome.